So I was taking the train back from New York on the way to Philadelphia, and I was trying to look at my channel, and I was like, what video or what style of 2K Rebuild have I not done in a minute? And I was looking at some of my former videos from about a year ago, and I was like, I haven't done a fantasy draft rebuild in a fat minute. So what is going on, everybody? How's everybody doing today? Yeah, so we're going to take a small break from the historic rebuilds, literally just one video, and I'm going to be giving you guys a fantasy draft rebuild. So next 2K rebuild, don't worry, it will be an historic rebuild. But yeah, today we are going to be doing a fantasy draft rebuild. And you know what I'm going to try to do? Usually in these fantasy draft rebuilds, I try to draft cheap, young players. They have good trade value. But that's what I'm going to try to do today. I'm actually going to try to build a pretty good constructed roster. I'm going to try to get 5-star system proficiency. I'm going to try to draft maybe 2 ball dominant guys that could be our top scorers. I want to get shooters around them, defenders, rebounders, rim protectors, playmakers. I'm just going to try to build this team out like maybe anybody would in a fantasy draft. So I usually get bad picks in these, so maybe I'll say, oh, I always get good picks. Reverse psychology. Maybe we'll get a good pick in today's video. But I didn't really know what team we want to do, so I'm just going to randomize it. I'm going to stop it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that is going to be our team. Please be a cool team. And we get the Pelicans. Sure, I can rock with them. So let's see what pick we get here in the fantasy draft. Okay, Lakers would have been nice. Oh, it would have been cool building around Giannis or Luka. How far down are we? We're going to be picking in the 20s. Why do I never get a good pick? All right, 14. I guess it could be worse. So I'm kind of glad Harden went off the board. Butler, I don't think I was going to build around them. We could have built around AD or Zion. LeBron. Embiid would have been cool. There's Kawhi, Curry, Morant, Jokic. Jokic would have been pretty cool, but there's still a plethora of guys that we could take, and we're right in the middle of the draft. So we could build around Devin Booker. I don't really want to build around Kyrie Irving. So, like, if this is going to be 2 of our ball-dominant guys, Jason Tatum is there, though. Oof. Maybe I'll go Tatum, because Tatum at least gives me pretty good defensive ability, at least over Booker. Booker is an overall higher. Towns, if we wanted to go at the 5 spot, I don't really see anybody else that I would build around, like, over those guys. So it really pretty much comes down to Booker or Tatum, just because we could see some regression at DeRozan. Chris Paul's 36, Lillard is 31, and I really don't want to build around a 6'2 guard unless like it's Steph Curry, but well, I don't know if Steph Curry's that exact height. Trae Young could also be a potential guy we could build around. Like if you're going to be maybe a shorter guard that I'm going to use my 14th overall pick on, being 23 is pretty good, or it gives me a good reason. So I'm pretty much between Booker or Tatum. I think I'm going to go Jason Tatum here with the 14th. I haven't gotten Booker in a minute, though. You know what? I haven't gotten Booker in forever. Let's go Devin Booker over Jason Tatum. Nobody would ever pretty much in their right mind do that, as Tatum ended up going a couple picks later when Kyrie, Trae, and then Tatum. Wow, Raptors getting Tatum at 17 is an absolute steal. There goes LaMelo at 21. I didn't really want to build around LaMelo Ball, but I like the pick there. There's RJ going to the Knicks. They got back-to-back picks, in which I believe they got Bam and RJ. You got Miles Bridges, Jared Allen, Bradley Beal falling to the second round team with Gobert. Oh, I was hoping Cade would have fell. Man, Cade and Booker backcourt would have been insane. Damn, DeJounte Murray would have been a nice fit. So do I want to get that secondary ball handler now? Like, we know Devin Booker is going to be our number 1 scorer. Do we want to get the number 2 scorer in McCollum, Middleton? Drew Holiday is a good point guard next to Booker, but I'd be using my second round pick. He's 31, and he's making a ton of money. Now, Ben Simmons isn't a bad idea, but I'm not going to get Ben Simmons on this team. We got enough Kardashians. I don't need to get another one. So, Wendell Carter Jr. is a fun player. Tyrese Halliburton, while he wouldn't be my secondary scorer, he would be our primary playmaker. Like, he'd be setting up Booker, maybe setting up my other scorer if that's a small forward, power forward, center. Ooh, I kind of like that idea. Even like getting Mikal Bridges in the 3rd round would be nice. But we pick right in the middle, so I really don't know who's going to be there in the 3rd round. So I think I'm going to go Tyrese Halliburton, who is a little bit on the younger side. Because I don't think I'm going to like any centers here. Robert Williams would be a nice piece as well, to get as a rim protector 5. Like, if he's there in the next round, I would love that. I doubt it, though. So yeah, like Mikal Bridges, Wendell Carter Jr., or Robert Williams, I'm really hoping is there in the next round, because I'm going to go Tyrese Halliburton in the 2nd. Let's see. So there goes Middleton. Oh, yeah, no. Oh, wait, Scotty Barnes was there. That was a little silly. Maybe I should have taken Scotty Barnes. But no, I like Halliburton on this team. There goes Wendell Carter's off the board. All right, Giddey goes. So there's Ben Simmons, Sadiq Bey, Jalen Green. I'm fine with those young guys going. So Robert Williams is there. There goes De'Aaron Fox. Holiday in the 3rd round would have been nice, but I had to just get my point guard. Clay, Draymond, and then who was picked 13? Kuminga. Okay, so there's a couple guys that are still here. We got Mikal Bridges, I believe. Or no, did he go? Oh, was he the last pick of the first round? Because I don't think I saw that pick. Oh, of course he was. The Lakers took him there. So we could take Robert Williams to be like our rim protector guy. Yeah, I like that idea. I don't think he would fall to me in the next round. I mean, he could. Damn, Anunoby would be a good piece as well. But like, who's gonna really be picking up the scoring? I don't know. Like, if I can get Michael Porter Jr. in the 4th, that would be insane. But he's gonna go. I'm just trying to see who I could target in the 4th that could be an 18 point per game scorer. And that's something we could also look at via trade or free agency, but I don't know. Like, Terry Rozier could be that guy, but I already have Booker, so there'd be no point in getting him. Norman Powell has played a little bit of small forward before. But yeah, Michael Porter Jr. is somebody I like, but I don't think I can land Porter Jr. and Robert Williams. And while Vucevic gives me maybe that second scoring upside, he doesn't really give me that rim protecting. So I'm going to go after Robert Williams here because he's on a friendly contract, which can help us do a little bit else cap-wise. So there goes Jeremy Grant, who I was targeting. I don't think Michael Porter Jr. falls. Ooh, there goes Anunoby. He would have been a good pick. Jordan Poole, Simons. Who is that just went? I saw Melo just went. That's an interesting pick. Derrick Rose and Melo. Oh, there goes Porter Jr. All right, so let's just see who goes. Damn it. All right, so we're looking for a guy that could score. Wall would be nice, but we have Halliburton. I mean, Halliburton could end up being the secondary scorer, but I wouldn't mind getting somebody. Al Horford, oh, that's a glue guy. Isaac, that would be a great front court. I mean, this is something we could look at via trade. There's Gary Trent Jr. Provides me some good three-point shooting and some good defensive ability. I mean, we could look at that in Josh Hart as well. Marketing, Thibault, I think I can get Dorian Finney-Smith in the 5th round. At least that's what I'm going to try to do. All right, so we're going to go with the 6th man pick here in the 4th round. Norman Powell, it's an interesting one. I don't know if I'm going to regret that. Like I said, I would like to get Dorian Finney-Smith in the next round. There was a lot of good young players there. Like I saw Kungwu. I saw Emmanuel Quickly. There goes Kevin Porter Jr. Is he going to fall? There goes Jalen Suggs, who is still on the board. There goes Anthony Melton. Okay, so I think I'm going to... do I think Finney-Smith could fall one more round? Maybe. You know what? I might take a flyer on Oladipo here. I mean, we could get a solid backup point guard. Marcus Smart could just be an elite defender for us off the bench. Because I could maybe get Oladipo or Finney-Smith in the next round. And I mean, Finney-Smith could start at the small forward position, but I do need some scoring ability. I just don't know who I like here with like scoring upside. Like that could average maybe 16, 17 a game, you know. All right, let's take Finney-Smith here. I'm hoping Oladipo falls to the next round because I like Finney-Smith maybe a little bit as a better three-point shooter over Jonathan Isaac. There goes Josh Hart. Oh, Davion Mitchell. There goes Gary Trent. Terrence Davis. I think Devin Vassell just went. Wow, that would have been a good pick. So Oladipo is still there. As much as I want to get Oladipo, I kind of like the idea of getting Gary Payton II as like a backup defensive swing guard. I don't know why his secondary position is center, but he could play the 1, he could play the 2. He's going to be an elite defender off the bench. Let's get him because we got Norman Powell leading the way offensively off the bench. Let's go for Gary Payton to be the backup guard. I don't think Oladipo falls, but that's not the end of the world. I'm not crying over losing Oladipo, even though I probably should have went him. So is there anybody I can maybe play up a level? Like we could go THJ, but I don't love the contract. Kennard could probably play a little bit of small forward, and hey, maybe he can average 16 a game for us. I mean, we could get that out of Jordan Clarkson, Evan Fournier. Probably out of those contracts, I like Kennard's the most just because of his age compared to Clarkson. I mean, right now we have Halliburton, Booker as our starters. We have Powell and Payton as the backup guards. We have Finney-Smith and Williams as the front court. Love that. Who can play up a little bit? Kennard? Maybe we move Kennard to the small forward spot and he's like an elite shooter around Booker and Halliburton. All right, let's do that. Al Horford's still here, man. He would be a pretty good fit, but I don't know if we're going to win it all in year 1. I'm going to go with Dario Saric here in the 8th round, a guy that can play make at the center position. I also like getting KCP to come off the bench for us as well. I'm going to get a veteran point guard in Rajon Rondo. Don't know if he's going to play. Going to take a chance on Jeremiah Robinson Earl, who's a 74 overall at the age of 20. We're going to get Nemanja Bjelica, who can space the floor as a backup 5. We're going to take a flyer on Kevin Knox. And we're going to take Kostas Antetokounmpo for maybe future tampering reasons. All right, so let's see this starting rotation. Halliburton, Booker, they want to go KCP, Finney-Smith, Williams. Who was I going to start? No, yeah, I did want to start Luke Kennard because I don't think we need more defense in that starting 5 because everybody outside of like Booker and Kennard are fine. Like at least we're getting great defense out of Halliburton, Finney-Smith, and Robert Williams. All right, so this is going to be the starting 5. Halliburton, Booker, Kennard, Finney-Smith, Robert Williams with Norman Powell, Gary Payton, KCP, Dario Saric, and Jeremiah Robinson are all off the bench. 3.5 star balance. Perimeter centric is 2.5 stars, so we're going to stay with balance. Now, just taking a look at some of the shot tendencies. Why is Halliburton at a 55? That is just blasphemy. Let's get him up to an 80. He's going to be And we'll get him at a 77 for this year. Robert Williams, like, why is he that low? Let's get him up into the mid-60s. Powell, he could be a 75. Dorian Finney-Smith, why is he at a 35? Let's get him up to a 60. Gary Payton could be a 55. Luke Kennard, I want to be a 65. Sarge, we could probably lower that to a 60. KCP, we can up that to a 60. And we should be good to go for the 2022 season. Let's see how we do with me not just taking all young players and like cheap young players for once here in a fantasy draft. All right, so at the end of the season, Giannis Antetokounmpo, who was the #1 overall pick of the fantasy draft, it would be cool. I doubt they have this in 2K23, but it'd be cool if like you did a fantasy draft, it showed instead of maybe the drafted spot there, you just replace it with where they were in the fantasy draft. Like that would be kind of a cool feature they could put, but I doubt they will because they probably would have announced that. Cade wins Rookie of the Year, Markelle Fultz 6th Man of the Year, Giannis gets Depoy, Ja Morant Most Improved, Ime Udoka gets Coach of the Year. So here's all NBA first team with Luka, Simmons, Giannis, Tatum. Okay, who we could have taken. Maybe I should have built around Tatum. All NBA second team, you got Ja, Harden, LeBron, Zion, Jokic. So no Booker. And we don't get Booker on any of the teams. That is kind of brutal. And we don't get anybody on an all-defensive team. That is also brutal. So we were a 2 seed though. Very happy with that. We're taking on the 7-seeded Clippers in round 1. It looks like, yeah, they got LeBron in round 1. I think they must have taken Wood and then Harris or vice versa back-to-back. Maybe Lowry next. They got JaVale McGee, Seth Curry, Tim Hardaway Jr., as well as Trey Lyles, Obi Toppin, and Raul Neto. Here are the players set. Devin Booker put up 25.7 points, 5 rebounds, 4.5 assists on elite shooting, 53 from the field, 49 from 3, 88 from the line. That gives him a 65% true shooting percentage. Tyrese Halliburton, 17.7 points, 4 rebounds, 6.9 assists, 1.5 steals. The true shooting wasn't the best, but hey, he's still only 22 years old. Norman Powell was a really good 6th man for us, and he's still only 28, 15 points, 50, 43, 82 splits. That's good enough for a 64% true shooting percentage. Robert Williams has a monster year, maybe as our 5, 13 and 10.5 with 2 assists, over a steal, 2.5 blocks a night, 62% from the field. Luke Kennard about 11.7 points, 42 from 3, 87 from the line. That's really good. Finney-Smith was very inefficient, really couldn't hit his threes, field goals, or free throws. We'll see if he's back next year. Can I fix DFS? We'll see. There's KCP off the bench, Gary Payton in the second, Dario Saric, 1.9 assists. I was hoping he'd average 2+. And there is JRE, who probably won't play for the playoff or in the playoffs, so we can clear up some minutes. Sarge is going to get about 15. We're going to go 17 to KCP. I still want Payton getting 21 for his defense. 27 to Powell is good. So I'd like to go 32 to Williams. Probably drop Finney-Smith a little bit. Kennard with the shooting will go to 27. Booker, I'd like to go 39. And then maybe 37 Halliburton. We're really going to play that backcourt 4-star balanced. All right, so let's see if we can beat the Clippers in the first round of this fantasy draft. We blow them out in game 1. Luke Kennard with 23 points against his, we could say, former team. There's Halliburton. Game 2, we pick up the dub. Let's go. We end up winning by 25 points. Booker with 44. Halliburton with 38, 10, and 13. Game number 3, we pick up the dub. Let's go. LeBron with 37, 9, and 7, but that's not enough because Devin Booker has just been going off in these games. And are we going to sweep the Clippers? Yes, we do. Would you look at that? We beat them by 1 point in overtime. LeBron had a monster series, but it ends in defeat, getting swept. Norman Powell with 29 off the bench. Robert Williams with 23 and 9. There's Tyrese Halliburton, who averaged 24, 5, and 10 in those 4 games. Holy crap, he was unstoppable. There is Luke Kennard hitting his threes. Dorian Finney-Smith playing solid. I mean, the field goal efficiency still isn't there. So we're taking on the Nuggets in round 2, who have Steph, who was Steph this year, insane numbers. Dante DiVincenzo, Moses Moody, Keldon Johnson, Andre Drummond, Jalen Brunson, Jalen Smith, Dwight Powell, and Jetty Osman. But yeah, Booker and Halliburton went off in round 1. I mean, Kennard and Powell played great as well. You know what, Finney-Smith, I'll take that from you. I guess you're not going to hit your free throws, but that's fine. Sarge playing well off the bench. All right, so can we beat the Nuggets? They are the 6th seed. They upsetted the 3-seeded Rockets. We're going up against Steph. We do win in game 1 by 19 points. We are undefeated in the playoffs so far. Would you look at that? Game 2, we pick up a victory, still undefeated. We win by 6. Maybe I built a pretty well-rounded team. Game 3, we do lose. Okay, I got cocky. We get blown out by 41 points. Damn. I forgot what team Tatum was on. I think he was on the Raptors, and yeah, they lost in round 1. Ooh, that's a fun team with Tatum, Murray, Fournier, Kuzma, and Turner, because that's like 3 great defenders in Turner, Tatum, and Murray are at least solid defenders. And then you got Fournier and Kuzma to spread the floor. Not too bad. So can we take a 3-1 lead, or are they going to tie it up? They do tie it up. So we do have a series on our hands. We lose by 5. Steph with 43 and 8. Booker 26 and 10. Not enough. Game number 5. We pick up the dub. Let's go. We're up 3 games to 2. Devin Booker with 28 points. Halliburton with 19. Norman Powell with 19. Robert Williams with 17 and 15. And can we beat them in 6? Yes, we can. And we're going on to the conference finals. We end up beating them by 27. Norman Powell with 28. Halliburton with 26 and 7. Booker with 28 and 8. And there's Robert Williams. All right, so we got the Lakers in the conference finals, who have Ben Simmons, Giannis, Bridges, Derek White. Talk about a defensive lineup, man. They do have Dwight and Aldridge, who aren't great on the defensive end, but hey, Nerlens Noel, Chris Dunn, Oladipo. It's like their 7th man. I was going to take this dude in like the 5th round. He's playing pretty well in the playoffs. Oh, and here were the round 2 numbers, if you were curious. Devin Booker with 24 and 7, 5.7 assists. There's Halliburton. Powell, man, he's been really good. Norman. Game 1 against the Lakers. We lose by 15. Ugh, we score 105 on them. I feel like we're going to have some offensive struggles here. We drop game 2. We drop 105 again. Like, for reference, before those games, we were averaging 122. Or, no, that's just our rating. We were averaging 126 before those 2 games. Ugh. After those 2 games. So we probably averaging close to 130. And they let us, or they make us score 105. They take a 3-0 lead. Oh my god, we score sub 100. That team is too good defensively, man. Oh my goodness. We do take game 4. We drop 125 on them. Booker with 32. In a broken clock, it's right twice a day, and we do lose in 5. We do drop 133, but we give up 138 because Giannis is just in God mode. Man, that team is so good defensively. I'm really hoping that they don't bring back at least Derek White, or I guess Mikal Bridges, because they're probably keeping Giannis and they're probably keeping Ben Simmons. But yeah, Booker, 46 from the field. I mean, he shot 51% overall in the playoffs, so his numbers went down. He still shot well from 3. Halliburton struggled. Powell's numbers went down. Finney Smith was still pretty good. Kennard's numbers went down. Yeah, that team was just so good defensively. You have Lakers, Wizards, Russell Westbrook trade partners. They got Lonzo, Zion, Capella, Markkanen, Herter, THT over there in Washington. And the Wizards win in 7. Shout out to Zion being insane in the simulation. And he is your finals MVP. All right, so I don't really know who I want to add. Maybe a Luke Kennard upgrade at the 3. We could also look for maybe a Dorian Finney-Smith upgrade. I put the setting on where everybody keeps their own pick, so the Hornets get the number 1 pick, and we're sitting there at 26. All right, so it is the 2023 NBA draft. Let's see what we want to do. So, like I said, I could make a move if we wanted to upgrade Finney-Smith, who didn't play poorly in the playoffs by any means. I didn't find any power forwards that I love to replace him. I really can't find any small forwards that I love to replace Luke Kennard right now. So we're going to just draft somebody. And with our first round pick, we ended up taking Caleb Love. We also got Marcus Bagley in the second round. The Hornets ended up with Wembanyama. The Knicks with Henderson. The Jazz with Walker. We're going to pick up the option on KCP, but I think I will look to trade him. Kevin Knox will not be getting this $7 million qualifying offer. So yeah, we do have Gary Payton as a free agent. I would like to bring him back on a 3-year deal, which is a team option on the end. And yeah, he's going to be of good value to us. So we're not going to really have cap space, so we can kind of just go past moratorium. Kyrie goes back to Chicago. Harden goes back to Atlanta. Bradley Beal goes back to Brooklyn. LaVine back to Houston. Aiden back to Minnesota. Everybody seems to be re-signing, it looks like. Warren left Brooklyn to go to the Thunder. All right, we are going to be making a pretty big trade here. Dorian Finney-Smith, KCP, and Caleb Love for Dean Wade, but we're getting Andrew Wiggins, who has an expiring deal here, to probably start for us at the small forward position. So right now we have Halliburton and Booker. Backup guards, we're chilling with Powell. We have Kennard technically in Payton. We have Wiggins at the starting 3, but yeah, we have a pretty big hole at the starting power forward spot. I mean, we could theoretically make Sarge a power forward, but I don't love that option just because, I don't know, maybe he'll be fine. So you know what? We'll probably do that right now, but there's probably a solid chance he gets moved at the deadline, or like we look to upgrade at the deadline. Because like Thad Young won't really be that good of a replacement. So Powell does regress. I wonder if his overall goes up if I move him to the small forward spot. All right, so this is probably going to be our starting 5 with our bench. I mean, Robinson Earl could be the backup big. Obviously, we got Kennard as the backup shooter. We have kind of like a 3-level scorer in Powell, and then we have Gary Payton. They're both going to get about 21 minutes a night. So we're going to go 29 to Robert Williams, probably like 24 to Sarge. Like to go 30 to Wiggins, 35 to Booker, probably 33 to Halliburton. And got 2 more minutes left. We'll go 1 more to Williams, and we will go 1 more to Norman Powell. Sure. 4-star balance. We're going to stick with that. I do want to see if I move Powell to small forward. He goes up. All right, we'll stick with him there. And I'll see you guys either at the end of the year or at the deadline if I think we should upgrade at the power forward spot. All right, so it is the trade deadline, and we're currently the 5th seed. And Dario Saric is not having the greatest year, at least efficiency-wise, as our starting power forward. So I want to see if I can move him as well as Dean Wade for Kyle Kuzma, who's an expiring deal. But he's definitely a better scorer. Now, his defense isn't great, but he's probably the best upgrade I could find. If I could do Marcus Bagley... Okay, so I don't think they're going to accept this. I'd be surprised if they did, but hey, you never know. Okay, they don't do that. Could I do 2 seconds before I throw in my unprotected first this year? Okay, so that's what I was going to throw in. They might not even accept this offer. They should. They want George Hill, who we picked up in a second. It would give me Terrence Mann, I probably wouldn't play right now for the remainder of the year. But you know what? I will do this trade. We pick up Kyle Kuzma, who I think will be probably an immediate upgrade. I mean, like, definitely an immediate upgrade over Dario Saric. So for the minute allocation, I think, like, Kennard, who's having a solid year, is probably going to go back down to 20. Same with Gary Payton. JRE is good at 17. He's actually been really good for us. Probably just drop Powell a minute, and I'm going to give Kuzma about 27 minutes a night. So I'll see you guys at the end of the year. And let's hope we can go up maybe from the 5th seed to the 3 seed. So for the second straight year, Giannis is your MVP, and we actually dropped from the 5th seed to the 6th seed. So maybe that wasn't a great trade in getting Kyle Kuzma, and I could see probably why. Maybe we needed more of a defensive-minded 4. I don't know, though. I feel like Wiggins is a good enough defender. Like, Booker's not the worst defender in the world. I'm like, Halliburton's good. Robert Williams is good. It's a little weird. All right, so I don't think we're going to get anybody on an All-NBA team because I think Booker's numbers went down this year, sadly. We do have a guaranteed playoff spot taking on the Kings in round 1. We have Jamal Murray, Cameron Thomas, Nasir Little, Julius Randle, and, yeah, Nikola Jokic. We might be screwed. But here were the stats throughout the season. Devin Booker, and then Halliburton, Powell, Williams. Ooh, he picked it up, man. He's pretty good. Wiggins was maybe a luxury, not a necessity. Like, we didn't really need him. I don't know, though. All right, so for the playoffs, let's figure out this rotation. JRE is probably good. I think I want to keep at 17 with him. Kennard's probably going to drop to 17. Powell maybe to 26. Gary Payton to 17. Robert Williams is good at 30. Maybe we're going to drop Kuzma a little bit down to 26. I would like to go 38 to Booker, 35 to Halliburton, maybe 32 to Wiggins, 32 to Robert Williams. I did change Willie Green's preferred system to balance, and now we're 4.5 stars. So let's see what happens against the Sacramento Kings. If we do pull off an upset, maybe this core is meant to be. So Kuzma, all right, is shutting me up right now. It gives me 28 in game 1, double-double for Robert Williams. Game 2, we do drop, we do lose by 1 point. That hurts. Booker shot 10 for 27. Game 3, we do win this game. Booker with 34. Robert Williams with a double-double. Julius Randle with 25, but hey, we're up 2-1. They do tie it up 2-2. Damn, they beat us by 1 and by 3 in this series. Game number 5, we do pick up the victory by 14 points, even though Jokic had a triple-double. All right, Booker hasn't... he's still been really good this series. Come on, let's win in 6. And boom, there we go. We pull off the upset. Booker with 32 in Game 6 as we beat them by 34 points. So now we're taking on a 7-seeded Suns team, which is pretty good. Here were the first series numbers. And Kyle Kuzma was pretty good for us. But Devin Booker was obviously the star of the show. Taking on the 7-seeded Suns, like I just mentioned, who have LaMelo Ball and Cade Cunningham. Those are like 2 future 99 overalls. They had Cameron Reddish, Jeremy Grant, Daniel Gafford, Davion Mitchell, Marvin Bagley, Trey Murphy, Aaron Wiggins. They really like their 2021 guys, at least with Cade, Mitchell, and Trey Murphy. Isn't Wiggins from 2021 as well? Yeah. Is Nick Richards from 20? No, he was 2020. Okay, never mind. I don't know. Now I'm going down the rabbit hole. JT Thor was 2021. Anybody else? No, I think that's it. So, can we beat the Phoenix Suns? We do beat them in Game 1 by 10 points. Booker going up against his former team, you could say, before the fantasy draft. We do drop Game 2 by 20 points. Booker with 31, but LaMelo had a triple-double, and Cade at 31. Game 3, we do win. So, like, who's going to step up as the number 2 scorer? Is it going to be Halliburton? Because he's not doing that. It's not Wiggins. It's Powell maybe right now? Is it Robert Williams? I don't really know. Can we win game 4? Yes, we can. We take a 3-1 lead. We beat him by 1 point. Halliburton, when I say that, he gives me 29. Powell, when I say that, he gives me 27. And game number 5, we do pick up the victory. We win by 29 points. Halliburton with 22. 6, 9, and 7. What a game. Robinson Earl with 22 points. Robert Williams with 19. Everybody scored in double figures. Holy crap, that's pretty cool. And boy, oh boy, thank you, Portland, for beating the Lakers for us. So we're going up against Dame. Of course, he's loyal in the fantasy draft, too, of course. They got Maxey there, who I think was their first, or I guess second round pick. They do have DeAndre Hunter, Otto Porter, Nikola Vucevic, Precious Achua, Derek Whitehead, Jose Alvarado, Usman Garuba, and John Conchar. I don't know. That's a good team, though. They probably could beat us, and they beat us by game 1. Or they beat us by 1 point in game 1. Halliburton had a great game. Booker, not as much, but still solid. We do win game 2, though, by 9. Oh, this is going to be a series, man. Come on, I really want to go to the finals. We do drop game 3 by 4. Oh, we lose by 1 and then by 4. Don't drop game 4. Okay, no, we do end up winning by 24. Come on, let's take the game 5 victory, please. They've literally won every single, go-ahead game here, and I'm sure they're going to win game 6. That's just how I feel like how all our series have gone. Like, we go up 3-2 and then lose. We're playing pretty well, but we do blow it in the 3rd, and we end up, we're going to lose in overtime. Yep, I just knew it. Once we blow it, we're going to lose it. F you, 2K. I hate you. And the Wizards go back-to-back. All right, so we were definitely closer this year. I mean, thankfully, Portland did beat the Lakers, but we still lost in 6. We should have forced a game 7, and I gave up my first round pick this year, which ended up being, or no, did I have to give it up? Yeah, I did, right? Damn, and it was pick 19. That's pretty good. All right, so we do have this Terrence Mann contract still. I wouldn't mind packaging him with, I don't know. All right, I don't think I'm going to make any moves right now. So we're picking up the team option on Halliburton. Kuzma opts out, no surprise. We're going to pick up the team option on Robinson Earl, and definitely Marcus Bagley, because we could look to move him. All right, so we're going to be making this trade right here. Yeah, I'm going to go out and get Jonathan Isaac. So Terrence Mann, Marcus Bagley, and Deion Miles, who was our 50th pick in the draft, for Jonathan Isaac and a future first-round pick from the Chicago Bulls. So Wiggins is a free agent. I think I'm going to look to bring him back on a 4-year deal. I also gave Booker about a $105 million extension for 3 years. Comes out to be about $35 million per year. So Kuzma is gone. Jonathan Isaac is in. It's going to go Halliburton, Booker, Wiggins, Isaac, Robert Williams. Is that a championship team? I think we're going to try it. If I don't think it will be, I'll try to move Wiggins at the deadline for a better score. Nobody really regresses in the player progression, which is good. Can Booker lead us all the way next year? All right, so let's take a look at the rotation. It's going to go Halliburton, probably 32, 35 for the regular season, something like that. Isaac will get about 25 minutes tonight. Powell, 27. Payton, about 20. Same with Kennard. We're going to go 17 to Robinson Earl just for the regular season. I would like to go 30 to Robert Williams. I'd like to go 30, maybe 2 to Wiggins. Maybe 1 more to Halliburton, 1 more to Booker. We could rock with that. System efficiencies, 4.5-star balanced. Could this be the year we're going to lose in the conference finals once again? All right, there it is. We end the season as the #1 seed in the Western Conference. LaMelo Ball wins MVP for the Phoenix Suns. Hey, I could have taken him instead of Devin Booker. I don't regret it, though, at all. We get Coach of the Year. We don't get anybody on an All-NBA team. I guess that means we were well-balanced. So we are taking on the Sacramento Kings in round 1. We did beat them last year. I think they lost Nikola Jokic in free agency, though. I mean, that's good for us. Take a look here at the player stats. Devin Booker back to 25-plus points per game on 50, 40, 90 shooting. There's Tyrese Halliburton with 20, about 4.79 assists. Wiggins, Robert Williams. Okay, I really like this team a lot. How did Isaac? Okay, 6 points a game, 6 rebounds. Efficiency isn't great. Guess he's still giving me good. All right, so Kennard was elite shooting the ball. I think I'm just going to lower Payton's minutes to 17. Maybe just go 15 to J.R. even though he's really good. He's per 36 would be off the chart. 27 Norman Powell still good with me. Maybe 31 to Robert Williams. I'd like to go, I think 32 to Wiggins. He had a good regular season. 38 to Booker. 34 to Halliburton. And let's maybe go 32 to Robert Williams. System proficiency is 4.5 stars. Don't lose to Sacramento in round 1. And we end up gentlemen sweeping them. Devin Booker with 27 points, Robert Williams with 23, Halliburton with 18, Wiggins with 17, and there's Kennard with 12, and Norman Powell with 12. Now we're taking on the Houston Rockets in round 2, who have Zach LaVine and Jarrett Allen. They also have Franz Wagner and a bunch of other 80-plus overalls as well. Can we beat them in advance to our 3rd straight conference finals appearance? And yes, we can. We defeat them in 6, which was led by Booker's basically 28, Halliburton's 21, Robert Williams with 19 and 12, Wiggins had 16. All right, now we got the Phoenix Suns, who have that backcourt. Oh my God, and they signed Jokic. We're screwed. Oh my God, we're so screwed. That is the best team ever. That is the best team ever. Imagine them for the next 5 years with a 96 MVP LaMelo Ball, a 92 Cade Cunningham who's putting up 27 per game in the playoffs, and oh yeah, a 96 overall Nikola Jokic who basically gets a triple-double almost every other night. If we beat them, it's because of our defense. I have no hope. Yeah, we lose game 1 by 20. LaMelo at 52. I mean, I thought I was playing chess, but we were really just playing checkers against them. Game 2, we drop it by 2 points at home. We lose both games at home. Halliburton went off. Damn it. We just don't have that star power. I mean, like, we have Booker. We do win game 3, though, by 7. Hey, you never know. Maybe we tie it up. Nope, we go down 3-1. All right, guys. I don't think I'm winning it here. That team is just too freaking good. And they beat us by 1. 2 games this series, they beat us by 2, by 1, and for the 3rd straight year, the Pelicans lose in the conference finals, and the Suns win it all. All right, let's try one more year. Maybe I can figure it out. Maybe I'm just going to have to make some crazy trades. And boom, we have the 6th overall pick from the Bulls, and that was when we acquired, I forget. Was it Kuzma? No. Was it? I think it was in the Isaac trade. Let's try to get Nick Nurse. That would actually be a really good pickup. Boom. I wonder if Pascal Siakam is under contract right now, because he'd be somebody. Of course he's not. All right, so we just went through the draft because I think the player would have more value. Yeah, Brendan Bayless is a beast. He went number 1, but we got a pretty good talent in Wallace Gardner, who's an 82 overall at pick 6. Dude's a beast. We got Rolando Armstrong at 29 and Frederick Samuels with Mr. Relevant. All 3 of those guys could get traded. All 3 of these guys can get traded. We're gonna pay Halliburton however much money he wants. So let's get free agency done. We're gonna basically have to upgrade this team through the trade market. Halliburton's gonna take a deal from, hey, you guessed it, the Pacers, but we are gonna match that. LaMelo goes back to the Suns. It's not like Cade was a free agent. So Siakam went to the Bulls. I mean, he got paid so much money, it might be hard to match that. I'm gonna try to move Jonathan Isaac for John Collins. We would have to throw in about $5 million more. Would I finally give up on Gary Payton? I mean, could I do Armstrong and JRE? I could. They'll probably do this straight up. No? Okay. What about if I throw in Frederick Samuels? That gets it done. Okay. So we do need a backup center now. Let's go after... I guess Drew Eubanks for now, but we could definitely... Oh, no. We have Gardner. And then I think I'm also going to try to upgrade either Wiggins or Powell. Couldn't really find a wing that I like. What about Dylan Brooks? Oh, he's a free agent. Never mind. Anunoby, he's a free agent, of course. Do we try to do Gary Trent for Norman Powell Part 2? Because we wouldn't be getting an upgraded defense. I'll throw in Drew Eubanks. Of course, you don't have the money. I'll throw in my first next year. I could throw in 2 seconds, but that's about it. Boom. Okay. I think we get better because Trent will probably progress a little bit. Yeah, this is going to be the team. I hope it's good enough to win it all, or at least maybe put up a fight against the Suns. Probably not, though. So, yeah, this is the team. Gardner will probably play as, like, the 7th man, I would say. All right, so we finished the season as the 1 seed again. We get Coach of the Year, Nick Nurse. Most Improved goes to Damian Collins, of course, Isaac. Wins Depoy once he leaves us. Brendan Bayless, the number 1 overall pick, gets Rookie of the Year. But, hey, we're the 1 seed. Maybe we'll do something in the playoffs this year. The Suns are on the other side of the bracket. I think it'll be a perfect time just to turn around, simulate the playoffs, and see if we can finally get out of the conference finals. Because we've lost in the conference finals 3 years in a row. So Trent Jr. he was pretty good for us. He was. Collins wasn't too bad. How's Gardner was okay. He's probably gonna get like 21 minutes a night. Kennard 17. Kennard and Payton probably both 15 minutes a night. I'm probably going to go 30 to those guys. I would like to go 38 to D-Book. Maybe 1 more to Wiggins. Let's see, maybe 37 and then give also 1 more to Robert Williams. Maybe we'll do 28 there, 32, 33. All right. I'm just going to close my eyes. I'm going to press simulate the playoffs. You know what? I'm not even going to close my eyes. We're going to watch this live. All right, guys, here it is. Here's the video right here. I'm not playing around. We're going to press this button, and here we go. Please don't lose in round 1. All right, we beat the Rockets, beat the Thunder, beat the Suns, and we win it all. Let's go. Let's go. I don't want to wake up my roommates right now, but holy crap. All we had to do was just simulate the playoffs. If I took a game by game like I've done the last 3 off seasons, we probably would have lost to the Suns in the conference finals. And Halliburton, not Booker, get your finals MVP award. Booker was great though in the playoffs. Shout out to Robert Williams, man. That dude has just been a stud since we drafted him. Collins played very well, 50, 40, 90 in the playoffs. But yeah, that is gonna be it for me. I hope you guys did enjoy. Drop a like if you did. Next rebuild will be a historic one. As of now, the leading vote getter in the Mavericks rebuild was Vince Carter T-Mac Raptors. We'll see if I can find an accurate roster for that, but I'll be looking. So hope you guys enjoyed. Hopefully you're on the lookout for that one. I love you guys, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.